Don't forget to like and subscribe.
From lovely Africa or anywhere else, you can write that in the chat box. Guys, you can type in the chat box where you're from. We're in Africa. Namibia. That's great. Who else? Nice to meet you, Nelson. Anybody else? Cool. Botswana. Nice to meet you. Nigeria, of course. Okay. Anybody else? All right. So I see that most people are from Africa, and we have Botswana again. So now let's have a little warm up before we get started. So I have a riddle to share with you. And as you see, there are 5 snowflakes. When you uncover any of them, you're going to have a clue about what we're talking about. So I'm going to uncover the snowflakes one by one. And if you have any idea about what we're talking about, please share your answer in the chat box. So let's get started with the first one. Many tourists use me. Any idea? If you have no idea, you can type more or you can say more to reveal more information about the thing that we're talking about. Do you need more information to guess what we're talking about? Okay, more. There you go. I transport heavy loads. I transport heavy loads. Any idea? Or you need more information? Do you need more information? Okay, let's go for more. There you go. I use a long track. I think it's getting easier, right? Any idea? What are we talking about? Okay, do you need more information? We still have 2 snowflakes. Do you need more information, guys? Okay, let's go for more. I will show you beautiful scenery. I will show you beautiful scenery. So long track, heavy loads, tourists, show you beautiful scenery. All of these are just keywords that can help you guess what we're talking about. We have 1 snowflake left. Do you want to uncover? Okay, let's do that. Watch for lights to stop for me. So guys, can you guess what we're talking about? It's something that uses a long track. You can see lots of scenery. When you use it, you have to stop for lights if you have it passing by, you know, any area where you have lots of people staying there. Oh, great job. Great job. Thank you, Nalidi. Thank you, Nalidi. That's correct. So we're talking about the train. Great job. Thank you. So now let's get started with our topic today. But before we start, if we're talking about English as a foreign language, how many skills do we have? How many skills? Can you guess? How many major skills do we have in English? You can unmute yourself to share your answers, or you can just type your answer in the chat box. Like how many? 2, 3, 4, maybe less, maybe more. Okay, good luck. Says 3. Wow. Dorcas says 6. Okay. Any other guesses? Anybody else wants to guess? Okay. Now take a look and tell me, how many skills can you see? How many skills can you see now? 5, Nelson? Are you sure? 4. Thank you. Thank you. So we have 4 major skills in English as a foreign language: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Great. Now let's see. If I ask you about which skills are input skills and which skills are output skills, can you guess input and output? Which ones are input skills and which ones are output skills? Input skills, like you receive information when you use them, okay? And output skills are those skills through which you produce or you give information. So which ones are input and which ones are output skills? You can also share your answers in the chat box. You're doing a really great job. Okay, let's start the countdown just to make people feel more motivated. 5, 4, 3. Okay, Nihal? Yeah, go ahead.
I think input skills requires to be like receptive, so I feel like they will be reading and listening. And output skills are like writing and speaking because you create something.
You produce information, so instead of receiving it, you give the information. Great job. So these are the 4 skills divided into 2 groups: input skills and output skills. So if you're talking about listening and reading, these are input skills. Output skills are speaking and writing. Now let's see, if we're talking about speaking skills for international EFL tests. So what are you supposed to do? In order to have like a quick view of what you are expected to do in these tests when it comes to testing your speaking skills, we need to take a look at rubrics. As you see here on the screen, this is a rubric of the IELTS. And up here, you have 4 categories of skills that you are evaluated accordingly. And of course, here on the left side, you have the band score. Here I focused on 9, 8, and 7. Meanwhile, if you take a look at the rubric of the TOEFL IBT, you're going to find that you have 4 categories up here, and you have the score on the left. I also focused on the upper scores, 3 and 4. So if we take a look at these 2 rubrics, you're going to find that they focus on these major points. You know, even if they have slight differences when it comes to the format and even when it comes to the details of the rubrics, they focus on fluency, accuracy, grammar, and vocabulary. So you are evaluated on your fluency, you're evaluated on accuracy, you're evaluated on grammar and vocabulary. So the question is, how? How can you prepare yourself in order to cover these 4 areas? That is what we're going to talk about today. First, when it comes to fluency, what's the meaning of fluency? Any idea? If we're talking about speaking skills, what does it mean when we're talking about fluency? Again, guys, you can type in the chat box, or maybe you can, unmute yourself and get started.
Okay, I think for me, fluency is your ability to speak or communicate accurately.
Interesting. So Fluency is similar to accuracy. Okay, thank you. Thank you, good luck. Oh, perfect. So it's being able to speak without fidgeting. That's great. So this is pretty similar to the idea that we have here. Fluency simply refers to the ability to speak easily, automatically, without having to stop every now and then in order to think about what we're going to say. So again, how can we do that? One of the major points or the major steps that can help you do that is thinking in English. Have you ever tried that? You can type in the chat like yes or no, and if yes, tell us about your experience. Have you ever tried thinking in English instead of thinking your native language? Like maybe English, French, or any other language. I mean, Arabic, French, or any other language other than English, of course. All right, that's great. So in case yes, okay, Dorcas, you can unmute yourself and tell us about your experience. Like, how did you do that, or what happened? Was it helpful?
Okay, I don't know if it's really relevant, but I think I have usually when I'm to give a speech or maybe address a large number of people, I feel I'm more confident, if I'm to put it that way. I'm more confident or expressing myself better when I say it in English, because I feel like when I'm using my mother tongue but addressing a public, I fumble. So I think maybe it's what you're saying. The ideas come out when I use English. I don't know if I'm making sense. Thank you.
Interesting. So when you process information in your mind, can you recognize that you're processing this information in English or in your native language? Self-talk, sometimes you talk to yourself, right? I think everybody does, right? Sometimes when you work on your ideas, when you prepare your ideas, have you focused on what kind of language or what's the language that you use in order to process the information that you've got? Dorcas?
Say that again.
Yeah, like when you're thinking about the ideas that you're going to share, maybe in a speech or something, what kind of language do you use in order to process this information before articulation, before, sharing this loudly with others?
I think it depends. It depends on the context of the thing. Like I was just giving a typical example that when I'm addressing the public, it comes fluently in English. And usually when because I'm from a fraternity of a teacher, I usually think I should translate it to myself in Setswana so that I can put myself in the shoes of an 8-year-old. When I translate it to my mother tongue, then I can translate it back to English. I can translate it back to English because it's a private school. I have to use English at the end of the day.
Wow, that's great. You know what? Your experience proves that you don't even notice that. So this means that you're doing it naturally. Like you don't even exert some effort to do that. And Adora,
Yes.
you said yes. So could you please share more information, more about your experience? Oh, and how? Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I feel like it is really dependent on the person who's talking to me. If they are speaking to me in English, I think and I react and answer in English. But if they are speaking to me in Arabic, yeah, I would answer in Arabic and think about my answer in Arabic. It is really like you have two personalities or like two separate personalities. It is like you think and you react depending on the person who's talking to you.
Great. So now imagine that you're having a conversation with someone in English. Do you think it's more beneficial to think in English or to think in Arabic, your native language?
I think it is better and even like faster to think in English and say your mind in English, because that's how you guarantee you keeps like the conversation flowing.
Thank you. That's great. And I'm going to move to the next step based on the word that you shared, Michal, which is flaw, because this leads to the second step. Like, guys, imagine that you have two boxes in your head. One connected to Arabic or maybe your native language. Like in the house case, it's Arabic. Maybe it's different in your case. And you have another box in English. So imagine that you have a conversation with someone in English. So you have to translate what you're going to say from your native language into English. And also you have to do it the other way around when you receive the information. So this causes lag in response. So you feel like you're not following what the other person is saying and you're not getting the response as fast as required. So if you think in English, this is going to lead to the flaw of ideas. And here, guys, when we're talking about fluency, here we have a priority. The priority is the flaw of ideas. Maybe you're going to have some mistakes in grammar. Maybe you're going to have some mistakes in pronunciation. No problem. At this stage, at this point, you should have some kind of tolerance when it comes to this. But later on, you're going to have the chance to work on it. And finally, when we're talking about fluency, the major resource or the major reason that can lead to fluency is listening. Listening a lot, listening to speakers, sharing lots of information in English, and of course, getting exposed to a variety of topics through which you can have a lot of vocabulary and be exposed to several structures. And that is what we're going to do now. So are you ready to take the challenge? If yes, type it in the chat box. Okay, cool. So some people are ready. So what's the challenge? By the way, before we get to the challenge, do you remember the three things that we talked about? Step 1, step 2, and what's after the 2 steps? So who's ready to share step 1? Do you remember step 1, guys? Feel free to unmute yourself and talk, or you can share it in the chat box. Step number 1. Just keywords or a word or two that you remember. Think in. Who can complete this? Think in. You're going to think in what language? In order to improve your fluency in English, what language should you think in? Thank you. Thank you. Good luck. You're going to think in English. So this is step number 1. Step number 2. Anybody remembers step number 2? What's the priority here? What comes first? The flaw of what? Ideas. And one of the major sources that is going to help you do that is listening. Listening. Thank you, Antonio. Exactly, the flaw of ideas. And, the more you keep listening, the better it gets when it comes to, having the same, because guys, it's about imitation. You're going to just do the same, like, people that you listen to. So now let's get back to the challenge. What's the challenge today? Now we're going to listen, all right? And after listening to an audio, you're going to be asked to talk for 1 minute, okay, without stopping. at least 1 minute. Like you can extend it, like you can talk for more than 1 minute. But the challenge is that you should keep talking no matter what, even if you have some mistakes, even if you don't know, or maybe you're not sure about the pronunciation of a word. Don't worry, just keep going. Flow of ideas. This is the most important point. So first, we're going to listen. And after that, we're going to take the challenge. Are you ready? If yes, please give me a thumb up, or, raise your hand on Meetup. Okay, cool. So lots of people are ready. Okay, so I'm going to share it.
Hello, this is James Goodfellow from Channel 4 News. Today we're interviewing Sarah Roberts, the star of the new movie Zombies on Mars Part 4. Sarah, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome, Jimmy.
It's James.
Whatever.
Well, let's start off the interview with a few basic questions. First of all, where are you from?
Well, I'm originally from Miami, but we moved to New York when I was 3 years old.
Oh,
I lived there until I was 17, and then I moved to Los Angeles to be an actress.
okay. And where did you go to college?
I attended Fernando's School of Acting, and all of my teachers loved my acting.
Oh, and did you have a part-time job while you were in school?
Yeah, I worked at a movie theater, and everyone loved the way I made popcorn.
Really? Okay. And how old are you now?
Well, I'm only 20, but everyone I know says that I look at least 22.
All right. Okay. And what are your hobbies outside of acting?
Oh, I love shopping for clothes and makeup and... Did I say I love shopping for clothes?
You did say clothes.
Oh, yeah. Well, do you want to take some pictures of me, for
Well-
your homepage or your blog? And you can even use them on your Facebook fan page.
I think we'll be okay.
Okay, well, oh, look! All of
What?
my fans! Hey, gotta go, honey. Hi, everyone!
Hello, this
All right, so now imagine that I asked you to talk about this conversation, like give us like the most important information that you listen to or you still remember out of this conversation. And you're going to start talking for at least 1 minute. But the challenge is that you shouldn't stop, no matter what. Like even if you're not sure about the pronunciation of a word, or even if you make a mistake, keep going. Who's ready? Anybody wants to take the challenge? Okay, Dorcas. All right, just to be fair, let's set the timer, and okay, I'll share it just for everyone to know that we are following the rules. Okay, are you ready?
Can you
Okay.
give the instruction again?
Oh, sure. Like, do you remember the conversation that you listened to?
Yes.
You're going to give us the most important information that you listen to. Like, imagine that nobody listened to this conversation and they want just to get the most important information here. So can you summarize it in a minute without having any problem, like without stopping, like keep going? And by the way, guys, when we say fluency also, it does not necessarily mean that you have to speak quickly. No, it's about the smoothness of sharing ideas. So the ability to speak easily, automatically, without having to stop every now and then in order to think about what you're going to say. So, Dorcas, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so let's reset and let's go. Go, go, go.
Okay, our interviewer was Jim, and his interview, I didn't hear the name. She moved to New York at 3 years, and from there she started schooling there, and she get to a platform to do studies on acting, and she saw one of her fans, and she left the interviewer in suspense. Thank you. That's all I remember.
Really great. Why did you stop? Like you're halfway there. Wow, that's great. Great job. You know what? You did a great job. Yeah, you deserve it. Thank you. Anybody wants to go on from here? Like maybe you want to share more information. Maybe you remember some stuff and you can go on from here. Like you finished 30 seconds so far. So Dorcas, are you raising your head again, or this is from the last time?
It's for the last time. I'm actually struggling to put it down. Thank you.
Okay. So Edward.
Hello.
And
Hello.
hi.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So
Okay.
the
Hold on. You ready?
yes.
Okay. Wait a minute. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, the conversation said that the guy was 20 years old. However, someone can tell her that she's 22 years old. The guy also loves to shop the clothes. During her studies, he had part-time jobs. Yeah, that's my what that I
Thank
said.
you. Yeah, thank you. Almost there. Great job. Thank you. That's what we're talking about, guys. Like to keep going. It doesn't matter. Like maybe, there are some mistakes when it comes to grammar, when it comes to pronunciation, maybe some of the information is not accurate. But at this stage, at this point, focus on only one purpose. The purpose is to keep going. All right? Once we're done with this stage, maybe we can move to the next step. But you cannot focus on mistakes and fluency at the same time. This is going to be distracting. And you know what? In some cases, going to be frustrating. Like imagine, for example, every now and then I stop Darkus or Bugingo in order to correct something or to share more information or to have a comment or something. This is frustrating, right? And this is just, breaking the flow of ideas. That's what we're talking about. So we want to focus on fluency. So again, guys, do you remember the 2 steps? Other people listening to us? Do you remember the 2 steps? You can either type in the chat box or you can just share keywords, unmute yourself and share keywords. Step number 1, in order to achieve fluency. If you want to achieve fluency, what's the step number 1?
Number 1, think in English.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Dorcas. Perfect. And step number 2? Who remembers step number 2?
Prioritize the flow of the ideas.
Thank you. The flow of ideas. And what is the key skill that you can use in order to reach these 2 stages or can help you boost these 2 stages?
Listening.
Great job. Good luck. We should have, some kind of prizes for those people, those great people sharing lots of information. Unfortunately, we don't have, virtual candy to distribute or maybe lollipops. That would be great. All right. So now we know what we do when it comes to fluency. But do you think this is enough? Guys, this is a question to you. Do you think this is enough? Okay, Dorcas says no. All right. So Dorcas, what do you think? What's missing?
it's not really something that is something is missing, but you know, when you said something about thinking English, something came to my mind that usually as a teacher, when you give a child maybe summarizing, there's this concept of teaching children summarizing, and then the children would want to summarize things based on translating them to their mother, and it distorts the message. So I just said to myself that like you are saying, that thing of thinking English, it's very key.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree with you. It's challenging
yeah,
sometimes. And, you know,
yes,
they have pressure. Like they insist on using their native language, and you have to resist on the other hand. Thank you. Also, Nihal typed in the chat box, practicing the language. Nihal, could you please elaborate?
I feel like because if you know, learned a new vocabulary or like learned a new phrase or phrasal verbs, you have to practice putting it into sentences or practice using it so you don't end up forgetting about it.
So here talking about the context, like to know how to use these words in a context, maybe
Yeah,
connected to a specific topic, right?
exactly. And you have to be prepared to use it in real time conversations.
That's great. So I'm gonna share something with you, and I'm really curious about what you think. What do you think? Do you think that reading skills are important?
Definitely. Of course.
Mm,
Like they
why?
are the most important thing you can learn or you can like do in your life is read and read and reread because reading makes you not only intelligent but like also very flexible
Mm-hmm.
when it comes
Great.
to when it comes to conversing with people.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting. And you know what? You cannot say it's the most important because you know what? Like if we're talking about listening, through listening, you can learn more about the pronunciation. When it comes to reading, maybe you can get more ideas, maybe you can get more vocabulary, even if you're not listening to the pronunciation. Like here, if we're talking about silent reading, of course. So maybe you're not sure about the pronunciation, but you've got the vocabulary. Thank you. Dorcas.
Interesting part is that reading, what is written is not how you're supposed to pronounce it.
Reading.
uh like I'll give, because of the dynamics of phonology and sound pronunciation. Like I know the bowl for that thing that we use to dish food inside, we pronounce it usually in Botswana to say bowel, but it's bowl, as in, you know,
Wow.
the how something is written doesn't mean it's how you have to say it out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that affects how you say your words. So usually what I'm saying is what is
Mm-hmm.
written is not how you sound it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Phonology.
Yeah. This is a great point. And maybe the combination of both reading and listening can help you solve this problem. Like to help learners have this kind of connection between the word itself and the pronunciation. So they connect the letters to the sounds. So they become more familiar with the correct pronunciation without getting confused when writing the word. So let's do that. So are you ready for another challenge? Okay, that's great. This time it's going to be a challenge connected to reading. Okay, but it is about silent reading. Like if we're talking about silent reading, it's about scanning, it's about skimming, it's about reading as fast as possible. So your job is to read a passage or a part of it that I'm going to share with you. And I'm going to give you exactly 2 minutes, to grasp the most important information. And after that, I'm going to stop sharing, and you're going to, again, talk about what you read for at least 1 minute without stopping. Okay? Let's do it. All right, let's do it. Okay, so right? So we're gonna get started from the top, okay? And I'm going to scroll down slowly until the 2 minutes are over, okay? Is it okay with you? Give me a thumb up. If you have any questions, please either type in the chat box or you can unmute yourself and ask. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, I'm gonna start the timer. And yeah, let's go. You have 1 minute left. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. So, who's ready? Again, talking for 1 minute, focusing on fluency. Hey, that's great. Ugengo, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, let's set the timer. Share it. Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
The issue was about how to innovate business throughout answering or meeting out the demand of the customer by using different strategies. There was a 4 strategy that was supposed to be used in order to meet the consumer demand. The first was to use technological adaptation to meet the customer demand. The other is to answer the consumer demand in terms of products and goods. The third was to change how or how you provide your service. The fourth is to try to innovate new product and service or goods in order to meet the consumer demand, and that need to be done in strategic way in order to meet the markets and sales, as well as competing with the available goods and services. Thank you.
Wow, great job. So you exceeded the minute. That's great. So that's what we're talking about, guys, like to keep going, to keep the flow going as much as possible. Just a quick comment here, like whenever you're working on fluency, try to manage your pauses. Like if you're going to have a pause, which is okay, by the way, like, you know, if you have some fillers like, well, no problem with that, but try to manage it, like make it at the end of the sentence or maybe before you're sharing a new idea. Nalidi, do you want to have another try or do you have a question?
I wanted to give it a try.
Okay, let's go. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
How to innovate business. First of all, you have to review what you're doing and how you're doing it. This includes considering new ideas, new ways of doing things, and innovation. You have to be innovative so that you keep attracting people to use your products. Then you also have to listen to customer feedback, because customers are the ones who can give you the real feel about what they need and what needs to be used. Then you also have to consistently offer new products so that you can diversify the product offering. And you also have to make sure that as you offer the products and services, you have to change the way you provide them so that you can meet the customer's lifestyle and the needs. Thank you.
You're welcome. Great job. Almost there. Thank you. Guys, may I ask you a question about your strategy in attempting this? Like, did you take notes? I mean, while listening or while reading? Maybe you typed the main ideas or the keywords, or maybe you took notes. Okay. Bugengo, no, you didn't do that. Cool. What about others? Well, if you could make that great progress while not taking notes, this is great. Because, you know, in some cases, it's okay to take notes. No problem with that. Like, by the way, if you're going to take the IELTS test, you are allowed to take notes in part 2. So you prepare answers, you take notes, and you get ready. Nalidi, yeah, Nalidi, that's what I noticed. Like, I felt like your ideas are, you know, organized and they are well prepared. So that's great. So no problem with that. You can take notes, but focus on the key points. Focus on the keywords. Like, don't write everything. Don't write everything you're reading. Don't write everything you're listening to, because you're not going to have enough time to do that. And this is going to be distracting. But if you think like you're going to forget the most important information, no problem. You can take notes. Okay. Now, can you guess the next point that we're going to talk about? Like, if we're done with fluency, now we know the steps that we're going to follow, and we know how to take the challenge connected to fluency. What's next? Can you imagine the next point, or can you guess the next point that we're going to talk about? Accuracy. Now we're going to talk about accuracy, because we cannot depend on fluency alone. Like, in addition to fluency, you have to be accurate. Like, when it comes to vocabulary, when it comes to grammar, because if you remember the rubrics, mostly they are connected to using a variety of vocabulary, using a wide range of structures. So you have to use them, and you have to use them accurately. So they go hand in hand. You cannot do it alone with fluency rather than accuracy, or vice versa. They are related to each other. So how can we do that? One of the fun ways that you can do in order to manage accuracy when it comes to pronunciation, because here we're talking about pronouncing words, for example. Maybe you know the word and maybe you listen to the word more than once, but you need to manage pronunciation on your own. So tongue twisters are the best way to do that, specifically when it comes to similar sounds. Like sometimes people get confused between, some similar sounds. So tongue twisters can help you do that. And guess what? We're going to do some of them. Guys, can you see the tongue twisters on my screen? Can you see any of them? Can you see all of them? If I ask you to take the challenge and pronounce one of these tongue twisters 10 times, 10 times in a row, can you do that? As fast as possible. By the way, it doesn't have to be super fast, but at least as fast as possible. Who would like to try? Anybody wants to try? I'll choose. If you don't try on your own, I'll choose. Guys, it's super fun. Okay, Darkus. Cool. Which one would you like to try?
The ice cream one.
Okay, everybody loves ice cream, of course. Go ahead. Okay, guys, keep counting.
Ice cream, you scream, okay? We all scream for ice cream.
Cool.
Can I say that again?
Sure.
Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream.
1.
Ice cream, we scream. Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream.
Good.
I'm done.
Great, you're doing really great. Huh? One more time.
Ice cream, you scream, we scream, all.
Yeah, ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Yeah, go on. You're doing a really great job. All right, so until we have Dirkus ready, anybody else wants to try? Maybe the same one or another one? Okay,
can I try the third?
Sure. Okay, so we're gonna listen to Nihal and then we're gonna listen to Samuel.
Red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry.
Cool. 1. Would you like to try another time?
Ice cream, you scream, all scream for ice cream.
I was talking about pronouncing the same tongue twister 10 times.
10 times? Okay.
Yes.
Red red lorry, yellow lorry, 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 red lorry, yellow lorry. I think this was a 10th, or is there more?
That's great. Thank you. All right. Samuel, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Which one are you going to choose?
She sells seashells by the seashore.
Cool. 1.
She sells seashells by the seashore. 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 I'm not sure if that's a word.
Wow, great job. That's really impressive. Anybody else? Anybody else wants to try?
Peter Piper.
I'm gonna be the risk taker.
Okay, Antonio.
May
I guess, yeah.
I? Okay.
I think Antonio was talking, right? Or someone else?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here, Antonio.
All right, let's go.
A proper Cooper coffee pot. A proper Cooper coffee pot. A proper Cooper coffee pot. A proper Cooper cup. Oh, a proper Cooper coffee
No problem.
pot.
Keep going. Keep going.
That's funny. A proper Cooper coffee pot. 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 That's so funny.
Yeah, it
Amazing.
is. It is.
Yeah. Did I continue? I guess.
Oh, okay. If you want to stop here, this is great.
Nah,
Like, that's enough.
I
Thank
like.
you. Thank
Okay.
you. Yeah, so as you see here, like, it's like this combination of similar sounds can help you articulate, because you know what, when it comes to speaking, it's also about articulation. It's about how to pronounce words accurately and make sure that you're pronouncing words correctly. So these tongue twisters can help you focus on specific sounds, specifically when it comes to problems with specific consonants, or maybe if you have a problem with a specific sound. So you can pick a tongue twister connected to that sound and you keep practicing it. Sometimes because of, the effect of native language, people have some problems when it comes to pronouncing specific sounds. Like, for example, in some languages, consonants are not pronounced that accurately or that clearly. So they need to focus on them. So tongue twisters are the best way to do that. Maybe also in some other languages, some consonants or some vowels are not pronounced that accurately, so also it helps. So whenever you find any problem connected to a sound, just pick a tongue twister, connect it to it, and you're going to find that you're making progress. So imagine doing this for fun, like 10 times a day with 3 or 4 tongue twisters. So this is going to help you, manage these sounds easily. But this is not the end of the story. Like here, maybe we're just focusing on pronunciation. But in addition to fluency and accuracy, we're talking about grammar and vocabulary. And when it comes to the two of them, it's like a combination. Like we're not separating grammar from vocabulary or vocabulary from grammar. Like whenever you listen to a context, you listen to a conversation, you listen to a whole unit, including the word that you're listening to. So you learn how to use it in context, or maybe in a phrase or in a sentence. This teaches you a lot about grammar. That's why maybe you find lots of people who speak accurately, even if they didn't study grammar, because they kept listening and they listened to correct English. So the input was accurate. That's why the output became accurate. But in case you want to follow up your progress, what can you do? Here's an idea that you might find interesting. You can use audio journals. Audio journals are just about, recording your utterances, your sentences, even if you're going to have something longer, like you're going to have maybe a whole conversation. Maybe you're going to have a summary of a conversation that you listen to, like what we did. So every day you have something to record. And you can keep it. Maybe you can keep it on Google Drive. Maybe you can create your own platform and keep it on it. Maybe on Google website, whatever. So you try to keep track and, you keep the date. Like, for example, imagine that we're talking about today at the first day. So today you started recording and you listen to yourself. Maybe you're not 100% satisfied, but imagine a month from now, listening to the audios, like you're making audios day by day, And in a month from now, you've been done like, you know, tons of audios.
You're all pressured up and don't know where you're going. What's going to happen to you after death? And you know you're going to die sometime.
I think that we have to mute someone.
Then the thing to come is come to.
Dorcas, could you please mute yourself? Okay, so if you're going to compare your first audio to your last audio, definitely you're going to find progress. Absolutely. Because every day you are practicing, and practice makes perfect. Even if you're listening to yourself talking, you're going to find some mistakes, and you're going to find yourself saying, oh, well, this should be said like that, or maybe you should have said this instead of that, and that kind of stuff. And I have an easy way to do these audios online. If you want to, I might share it with you. Like Vukaroo is one of the simple platforms that you can use in order to share, you know, your audios anywhere. You can just record yourself talking, and you can keep, you know, the audio that you've created, and you can, you know, download it anywhere. You can copy it and keep it anywhere you want. So let me share the website with you in case you want to use it in the future. Here you go. So this is Vukaroo. As you see, so simple. You just press the mic and it's going to start recording. Once you're done with the recording, you're going to be able to download your audio, and that's it. You can keep it anywhere you want. So this is going to encourage you. Like, imagine that you're doing any assignments on your laptop, or you're doing anything online. So from time to time, you can just, you know, record a minute. Remember the 1 minute challenges that we've taken today? So imagine yourself recording yourself for 1 minute every day. So this means that you're going to have a lot of time of recording all over the whole week. And by the end of the month is going to be great. So you're going to have this audio journal. But sometimes audio journals are not enough. Like, imagine that you're going to take the IELTS, for example, or imagine that you're going to give any public speech. Because, you know, guys, you know, international tests are not the end of the world. Like, even if you have a high score, this does not mean that you're going to keep the same good job all the time. So you have to keep practicing. So imagine that you're going to turn the video journal, the audio journal, into video journal. So instead of just recording yourself talking, imagine recording a video of yourself talking. So this is going to make you manage lots of stuff, like your body language. You're going to watch how you react to the person that you're talking to. If you're going to give a public speech, you're going to mirror yourself and find how you're talking, or maybe you're going to mirror others talking in public and see what you can, you know, do with them. And in this case, I think you can use your own cell phones. I think it's going to do a great job for this. Or maybe you can use Camtasia, like if you want to record yourself on your laptop or on your PC, you can just use Camtasia and focus on yourself, like you can identify a specific part of the screen in order to record. So you can do that, and it's going to be super easy. And again, imagine that you record the first video today. What about a month from now? If you compare the first video to the last one, definitely there's going to be a great difference between the two videos. And of course, this is going to give you more confidence. Like, it's not about the international test anymore. It's about practicing speaking. It's about enjoying what you're talking about. It's about even, you know, talking about stuff that you're really interested in. So now English is turning into a medium that can help you, you know, get connected with the topics that you want to listen to, with people that you want to listen to, and also with people that you want to talk to, right? So now you have a portfolio of all the audios and the videos that you recorded. So it's going to be easy for you to track your progress. Now you know what to do with fluency. Now you know what to do with accuracy. So you can even evaluate yourself on your own. Imagine that you're going to apply the rubric to your speaking all the time. So it's not only about the test. Imagine that you're taking the IELTS rubric and you apply it to your speaking skills all the time. So you're going to be able to manage everything you are talking about, and you're going to get more vocabulary. You're going to practice using correct grammar and correct structures. You're going to also watch your pronunciation and make sure that you're using accurate pronunciation of words. Maybe over time, you're going to also to learn how to use connect speech, right? And this is going to take you to different areas that you never imagined. So what do you think about this plan? What do you think about this plan so far? Like, do you think that it is helpful and it's going to help you move forward? Okay, that's great. Okay, perfect. Also, another good idea that you may also use when it comes to pronouncing words that you have problems with. Like, sometimes you find some words a little bit difficult when it comes to pronunciation, and you want to make sure that you keep practicing them on a daily basis. You can create your own audio dictionary. Like, imagine yourself just pronouncing words in the raw, and you try to compare your pronunciation to the original pronunciation, either British, American, and you try to keep up with the good job when it comes to pronouncing words accurately. And by the way, there are also some apps that can help you compare your own pronunciation to the accurate pronunciation. So you're going to find the match, like you're doing good or not. Or you can keep it as an audio, as we said before, when it comes, to having summaries or just having commentary on some stuff that you listen to. This is Buckaroo that we were talking about. And this is time for questions. So we talked about fluency, we talked about accuracy, we talked about vocabulary, grammar, we talked about, different tools that you can use in order to track your progress. So do you have any questions connected to what we're talking about? Yeah, Antonia says, I'll start using audio journals to check my speaking skills. Perfect. That's great decision to make. Thank you. Yeah, Dorcas.
Okay, thank you for the platform. I don't know whether it's a belief or it's the right way to do things. There's this belief that, especially coming from an African context or African background, it's believed that English has to come out through the nose. Is it the right way, or it's just because we are from different continents and everything? Or yes, it's the good way to do it, because now we are forced to press our nose so that we can pronounce the words nicely. I don't know. It's just me thinking aloud. Or it's just a belief, or it's a myth. I don't know how to put it.
Okay. Dorcas, whatever works for you, go ahead. Guys, because we're different. Like, we as human beings, we're different. Like, we have different learning styles. We have different ways of making sure that we are, pronouncing words correctly. No problem with that. But the point of that, sometimes it's a little bit, connected to if you're going to talk in public, and if you're going to keep pronouncing this way, do you think it's going to be okay to do this in public? So at a specific point, you have to manage the way you speak and the way you pronounce words. Like, now you're done with the learning process, and you can master the pronunciation of these sounds. So now we're going to trust ourselves, and we're going to just talk like anybody else. And even if you're going to make some mistakes in the early beginning, no problem with that. By the way, guys, people you talk to are more tolerant than what you think. Like, even if you have some mistakes here and there, it's not a big deal. You know what I mean? And I'll give you an example. Like, if you check the band score 9 of people taking the IELTS, for example, in the speaking section, if you keep listening to them, you're going to find that they're making some slight mistakes, but they're just slight mistakes. Like, even native speakers make some mistakes when it comes to grammar, for example. Sometimes they have problems when it comes to the simple present tense, right? But it's okay. It's not a big deal, right? As long as it's slight, it's not repetitive, and it's not, hindering communication. It's not affecting communication. So step number 1, do whatever works for you, because it's only you. Like, this journey is about you. You're the master of this journey. Once you're done, move to the next step and mingle with others, and just feel like you're one from the flock. Either you're going to talk to Africans, Asians, and even Americans, or any other native speakers. Go ahead. Also, we have some questions here in the chat box. Okay, so how can we effectively use AI to help us advance our language skills? So here you're talking about using AI tools in order to improve your language skills. There are many tools that you can use, and of course, on top of them is ChatGPT. And actually, it's making really great progress. Like, you can talk with Mia on a daily basis, and you can even identify your level. Like if you're A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2, and it's going to adjust the level according to your own level. And of course, you have also some paid apps as well, no problem with that. But from time to time, try to expose yourself to real human communication. You know what I mean? This is not only for the test. It's just, for human interaction. By the way, AI is making great job, is doing really great job learning from human beings, imitating human beings and learning more about how they feel and that kind of stuff. But from time to time, expose yourself to human beings and try to have conversations with them. There are also different platforms, like in the future, if you're interested, maybe we can create a group, and I'm going to share with you some other platforms run by AI in order to help you even generate text. Like if you think like you have a book, for example, and you want someone to read it for you, so you can generate the text only using it. And also you can generate exercises connected to vocabulary, connected to grammar, if you want to focus on specific stuff, right? Yeah. This is the major thing that you can use. And by the way, also you can depend on AI to identify your mistakes. Like whenever you feel like you have a specific mistake connected to something, they're going to manage the content in order to focus on material or content connected to this mistake in order to help you avoid it in future and give you feedback. By the way, including giving feedback on the IELTS, right? But you know what? Don't make it the end of the world. Like from time to time, have some kind of human interaction. Another question from Bugingo, where can we especially get the real materials to be used in advancing our English skills? All right, so here you're talking about different resources in order to improve your English. British Council has really great website on which you're going to have lots of materials like connected to the level that you're working on, A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. Also ESL-Lab. This is one of the resources that we use today, in which you listen to the conversation, if you remember. So it can also help you improve your listen. Like it depends on the skill that you're working on. Like if you're talking about, all the skills all together, so the British Council can be the best one because you're going to have listening, speaking, reading, and writing, and they're all graded according to the level, A1 to C2. Okay. But again, try to have other resources as well. And by the way, guys, reality shows are great. Like try to watch reality shows and see how people talk to each other and how they interact in real life. Like this is a step beyond the test. Like it's not only about just learning some vocabulary in order to do some exercises. No, it's like, using it on a day-to-day, listening to the news. Voice of America, one of the great resources that you can listen to, and you can have a variety of topics, right? Also, Listen a Minute, listenaminute.com also have lots of resources, and it's, ordered alphabetically according to the topic, right? And on each topic, you're going to have some exercises connected to vocabulary, connected also to discussion. Like you can use these questions in order to have discussions with people and test how far you remember the vocabulary that you were exposed to. Guys, you have many resources, but the point is that you choose the thing that works the best for you, and don't forget to have a dose of human interaction. By the way, even if you're not going to talk with native speakers, even if you're going to talk to non-native speakers, this is going to push you forward. Let's see if we have any more questions. Okay, so far we don't have any more questions. So SMMA, did I answer your question? And also, Bugingo, did I answer your question? Okay. Great. Okay, guys. You're welcome. You're welcome. So, guys, do you have any more questions? Do you have any more stuff that you want to share, or any concerns that you want to share? All right. So thank you for joining us today. Thank you, Melody. It's really great to have you today. And I think it's getting a little bit late in some African countries. So I do appreciate staying up that late in order to join us today. I do appreciate it, guys. Thank you, everyone. All right. Okay, good luck. Are you here? Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome, Antonio. And guys, maybe in the future we're going to create a group on WhatsApp, like in case you want to, have more interaction, share more questions, or you have any, stuff that you want to share in the future. Maybe this is going to be a good opportunity for you to exchange, stuff connected to that. And maybe you can use this group also for practice, because guys, it's about the long-term practice. And by the way, since we're talking about practice, are you interested in having a weekly meeting or meetup in which we have discussions in English? Like maybe you can talk about, lots of stuff based on, some topics that are suggested, and you receive feedback on your performance. What do you think about this idea? Like it can be an hour every week for, people interested in improving their speaking skills. They can meet up and they can, have like chit chats and, exchange information, and also work on the stuff that we discussed today. Like you're going to find out how it's going with fluency, accuracy. Cool. So Darkus, Melody, cool. Perfect. That's great, Antonio. Excellent. And yeah, and guys, spread the word. Like if you have anybody else who's interested, yeah, please ask them to join us. I'm going to, share this idea with Good Luck, and let's see, whenever we're going to create it, we're going to share it with you, and maybe you can join us in the future. Wow, thank you, Nelson. Thank you, guys. It's really awesome to have you here, and hopefully we can, have more interactions in the future. Okay, hello, Good Luck. Are you there? All right. Thank you, everyone, and hope to see you soon. Thank you. Bye.